This is scaring you.
I have actual tears in my eyes because I'm so scared. Literally.
Well, maybe we should start with something nice. Happy birthday to you. I can't even look at myself.
You look like Vicky Gumbelson.
Stop! What do you mean? You look great.
I can't breathe. Oh my god!
Get the pen.
I can't. I can't.
I think I look great. Hold on.
I have never seen a human look like this. How did you do this?
Bitch, look at the nose. Look what
How did you do the nose?
I overdrew my
I literally
nostrils.
cannot breathe. Oh my god. I literally am trying to use this as a fan right now because I'm like crying. Oh, you look insane. Oh my god.
My little... Wait.
Stop. I can't breathe. This is the best idea we've ever had.
I mean, hold on. This wig.
Oh my god.
As you can see, this is not a hard front. This is a lace front. As you can see from this impeccable hairline. Whoa.
Whoa. How did you do that? Stop. I can't. I will literally cut this off. How did you do the nose?
I'll get up close. I overdrew my nostrils to turn, because I was looking at a reference picture for all of this. So I'm like building it piece by piece. First of all, brows are glued down. Got a little upper lip sweat.
How did you do that so fast? You look incredible.
I mean, truthfully, when you've got the canvas.
Baby. Stop.
I tried to call my sister, and she tried to FaceTime her, and she was like, "I'm busy right now," and I was like, "You need to pick up the phone."
You were like, doing what? Getting
when she
microbangs?
picked up. Yeah, when she picked up the phone, she was like, "Oh my god." She's like, "It's better than I thought."
I can't breathe. It's so much better than I ever thought. Oh my god.
The mouth is a bit juicy.
Well, I love that one side of it is like extra line.
Because that's what the picture looks like. I tried to do every detail. I even got the pin. I got the pin.
What is the pin? What is the pin?
He always has a little rose pin. So I have I got a little rose pin. But the nose was the toughest because like I didn't want to do a prosthetic, so I overdrew the nostrils. And then I did shaping to make like the bulb of the nose.
I literally thought you had prosthetics on. I didn't know how you did that.
The butt chin, she's in there.
I wish I had like a heart rate monitor on right now because when I saw your face, I legitimately felt my heart like skip. Like I felt it drop out of my butt.
Oh, creepers, welcome back.
Get your tickets to the live tour.
Get your tickets to come see CreepTime Live. You never know what could be in store.
How am I going to make it through this?
My little angel. There she is.
You have to actually go as this for
I currently am. Oh my God.
For like a party or something. Like, your friends would lose their minds.
I have a lot of group texts right now that I left unread, and I'm very close to just sending a mass message to everybody to be like, sorry, busy.
I can't. The longer I look at you, I'm like, that's not Silas. Like,
I don't think it's me either, to be honest. I have never looked like this in my life.
I've never seen a human look like that, ever.
I can't stop looking at myself in the monitor. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Well, you look amazing. Let's talk about you and Miss Pearl.
I'm like, I'm a star. That's like all I remember. I'm a star.
Me too.
Oh, my God.
Mommy! Got it! Wait, if I do it from the side of it. Unmake me!
First of all, that wig is also, like, good.
No, what are you talking about?
I feel like you could use it for other stuff. Like, it looks like it's a pretty high quality, no?
$19.99 Amazon. Look at that hard front.
Okay. There's no lice. You said that. Oh my God. I can't. I need to like calm down.
I realize this is a lot. This is overstimulating. Creepers who are watching, they're like, I'm extraordinarily overstimulated right now. This is going to be something I need to take a Xanny for,
Creepers,
unfortunately.
Babies. Oh my God. I'm like, I can't even look in the camera. I'm just looking at you the whole time.
Mommy! The mouth is really, I think, where I went off a little bit, because I know he has bigger lips. So I tried to like overdraw them a little bit, but the lipstick I got is a little too like plush pink.
It's a little like bubblegum pink, but that's okay.
And it's a little glossy too. So I was like, well, the mouth is like kind of, it's a little sexy, and that's not what I was going for. It
is giving like a little Real Housewife, a little bit.
Vicky?
It is giving a little Vicky.
Oh my God! What are some of her iconic quotes? What does she say?
A little family van.
A little family van! Look, how are we going to get to the airport?
Oh my God. Creepers.
One of your eyes just went...
Can I tell you what's making me laugh? Is that Pearl has long nails like this. These are still
Does
from
she
the
really?
show.
I was going to say, I was like, those look familiar. Oh.
No, they're from the show, and I haven't gotten
Farm girl getting her manicure and her acrylics.
That's right. Long legs does not drink a Spindrift. I refuse to believe. Oh my God.
I'm just laughing because we have to do a Magic Mind promo for this. And I'm just thinking about what they're going to do, because they all get sent to them for review before they go live. I'm just thinking about them sitting down being like, okay, let's review the Magic Mind read for CreepTime. And this is the first thing they see is just
and
get 20% off with Creep20 is the code.
Creep20 is the code. Oh my God. Yeah, we probably have lost all sponsorships after this.
I think that we're done. I think we're probably done. Although, I mean, Neon who did long legs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Come knocking, baby. Look at us. We're committed.
Neon and
I got the scarf too.
Right, we're ready. Yes. I didn't even realize the freaking scarf. All we need is like the satanic den behind you. All the red lights.
I know. I could have done a green screen or something. I'm sorry about that. But hi, Creepers. Welcome back.
Hi, Creepers.
This is
so fun.
Not quite a run-of-the-mill episode for us. We are kicking off spooky season with a special video episode, because today is October 1st. However, this is going to be out Friday, which is the 4th, right?
The 4th.
Oh my God, Tom, it's moving.
I know. I keep wanting to say the 5th, but it's October 4th.
October 4th, right after the 3rd, which is, we know, a national holiday because of Mean Girls.
Okay,
so we wanted to do something just a little exciting. So Stu and I got in costume. As you can see, I am Longlegs from the movie Longlegs. And Stu, you are...
Pearl. Because I've only talked about her 8,000 times on this podcast.
Can you do the scream? Can you do the...
I'm a star! I'm a star! I'm a star! Except I need my, like, eye makeup to be dripping down. I'm a star!
I can't stop looking at this. This is overstimulating for me. Overstimulating for me.
I can't imagine what it's like to be in your body right now.
First of all, the mailman came while I just came out of the bath. Like, once I had just put on the wig and the jacket and the pin. And I came out of the bathroom and I like went to the window where the mailman was dropping off my mail. He did not get a close enough look to really see what this was, but he just saw the silhouette of this in the window.
You know, he flung that mail so fast and just
I was just going to say, I was like, he usually, because I have like a slot mail where like you open it and like put the mail and then close it. I heard that thing slam shut harder and faster than I've ever heard it in my life. That man ran and he's reporting me right now to police. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I want you to know everything you've just been saying. I've been laughing, going like this into my own hand with an axe.
As you should, Bybee, as you should. Well, Creepers, this is a special episode because, like I said, we are kicking off spooky season, so we wanted to do a Scary Stories episode, and what better way to do that than in costume?
That's right, babies.
The cognitive dissonance of seeing this face and seeing my voice come out of it is just gonna... It's really gonna take therapy, I think, session for sure.
I have to be honest. I'm like, I don't know how to quite carry myself in this moment looking at you. Like,
is it better if I smile or should I just let the lips hang?
You're bringing me, when you do that, you bring me to the moment that he like, I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, the moment.
Well, before we jump into anything, first of all, thank you for stopping by CreepTime, the podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Silas Dean.
I'm Stu.
Even though we may not look like those two
Long
people.
legs and Pearl.
If you reverse image search. But thank you for stopping by. We come out with new episodes every single week. But as I said, this is a special one where we will jump into scary stories. And before we do anything, we just want to let you know that CreepTime, the podcast, is going on tour.
That's right, babies.
I can't take this seriously as like a tour plug when I'm like, so we're going on tour. My little angel. I'm the birthday girl. If you want to get tickets to come see CreepTime live, please head over to creeptime.com. It's been a few weeks since I've done the plug. I'm realizing I'm like, what do I say here?
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for stopping by. If you want to stick around for new episodes, make sure to follow, subscribe to the show, turn on the bell notifications so that you do not have to miss an episode, because look at the material. Look what you're going to get.
I know. Look at this.
So thank you again for sharing the show. Everybody who has shared the stories of CreepTime, whether it's been on Reddit, on social media, or with your friends and family, that really helps to grow the show. And before we get into anything else, we do have to discuss Magic Mind.
God, I need one right now so bad.
I told you this morning, I had a coffee and I chased it with Magic Mind, and then I had a water after, and I was like, there's a lot of various fluids going through my body right now to like really pep me up.
I know, but it's the best because it won't make you all jittery.
No, that's the thing. I am now in the phase.
Flowed.
How many weeks in? Are we like 6 weeks in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Of getting our latest.
Of being like consistent with Magic Mind. It really is a focus thing for me now.
Yeah.
It's so, I'm saying it in earnest, but like looking at I can't get over this. I'm like, it really puts me in a flow state.
It puts me in such a good mood.
No jitters.
No jitters. No jitters.
None.
No, but seriously, I know I always say this, but there's something also about the flavor of it that is just like immediately, like I feel like I'm like relaxed.
Yeah.
Like something, I truly believe this in my brain. Like when I have coffee, I do, obviously I like it because it makes me feel like energized and motivated, but it does, the taste of it alone, I'm like, gotta go do all these different things. So when I take my little Magic Mind, I'm like, yeah, but when I take Magic Mind, I'm like I just feel better.
I agree. I completely agree. I love the taste of it. And I'm starting to crave it because I agree. I know what it does to my mind now. It just makes me feel more alert, more focused, and I feel like I get more done when I take it, which is a little... as I'm saying it, I keep forgetting what I'm looking like, and I'm like, I really feel like I get more...
No, it's just like, if that could be like clipped, just like Longlegs himself plugging Magic Mind, just being like, I get so much more done when I take my Magic Mind.
This is so absurd. This whole everything about phenomenal. Right now is absurd.
Phenomenal.
But Creepers, we do have a different code for you that we wanted to share this time around. So we are going to be working with them so we can do CreepTime 20. That is the new code that is going to be prevalent through all of October at the very least. So if you want to get your Magic Mind and you want a discount, you can use the code CreepTime20, or you can go to magicmind.com/CreepTime20 and you are going to get 20% off, whether it's a single time purchase or you are signing up for a subscription. And as you can see, it's done wonders.
Look. Those lips are just for Magic Mind alone. It's
like making me hold my face in a different way too.
Yeah.
Like I'm like.
Well, it probably feels like it's naturally going that way.
It visually, like that's what. Is it shocking what you're seeing?
It is absolutely shocking. I mean, that I knew that you were gonna like turn it out, which is why I had tears.
This is nose.
Oh my god.
So anyway, now that we are full into our Magic Mon plug, shall we shift gears a little bit, would you say?
I think let's shift gears. We're going to do spooky stories.
Yeah. You want to lead one? You have two, I have one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up mine.
I was going to say, like, I'm pretty sure this is enough. Like, this suffices, just the two of us being on camera right now. But I thought I would do a spooky story from Halloween. And
okay.
It has to do with a clown.
I'm sad.
Yeah. This story comes from James P. from the interwebs, and it's called The Clown in the Shadows. You ready, baby?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to, like, cover your face as I read this.
I was going to say, should I go off camera?
I'm so scared.
You know what? The more that I'm looking at it now with the
like
juicy mouth, you know what it's giving? It's giving white chicks.
It is giving white chicks.
It's giving white chicks.
I could not put my finger on it. It's giving white chicks.
What do they say in White Chicks? Oh my God.
I haven't seen it in so long.
I'm so freaking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's literally this.
It is giving white chicks. It was also giving me like some
credit card.
Of... It was giving me like a little bit like Queen of Versailles. Have you seen that show?
No.
It was like some docu-series about this woman that like way overspent and like had lots of fake things happening, and you're kind of giving that to you.
I don't know nothing about that.
Which, if she ever sees this, I'm so sorry to this woman.
I do wish I did more eyeshadow. Washing out a bit. Yeah, because what this face really needs is more.
Oh my God. I wouldn't touch a damn thing. The bubblegum pink lipstick is really what's sending me. I love it so much.
I mean, that was possibly the cheapest makeup that's on my face, actually. That lipstick tube
really?
Was $2. Or no, 99 cents.
Wet and Wild?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Wet and Wild.
Of course, Longlegs shops Wet and Wild. Okay, baby. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take a swig of that Spindrift. This happened in 2016 when I was 15. This would be my last year trick-or-treating on Halloween, so I wanted to make it a big occasion. My mom is pretty laid back, so it turned into a huge multi-day thing for me. The day before Halloween, I would have a sleepover with my friends Davis and Zach. We'd skip school the next day on Halloween, trick-or-treat, and then I'd have a sleepover with just my girlfriend, Amber. This story carries into both nights, so I'll try to explain the best I can. My basement had just gotten renovated into a man cave, so obviously my friends and I wanted to stay down there for the night. The basement had a long hallway right to the man cave. The light switch to the hallway didn't work. It had a pretty creepy vibe, but for tonight, that would be a good thing. My mom made us cookies, and then we went down into the cave. It was around 11 p.m., and we had just finished watching the original Scream. Our second movie of the night would be Paranormal Activity, which none of us had watched before, and that's why I picked it. I remember pausing the movie not even 30 seconds in because of the motion detector light in the backyard turning on. It lit the whole room up, ruining the creepy vibe we had going on, so I waited for the 30-second timer so it would turn off, and then unpause the movie. Then after about another 30 seconds, the light went off for a second time, and I started to get annoyed. Davis asked me what kept making it turn on and off, and I said, I have no clue. 30 more seconds passed by, and the light turned off again, and I played the movie again. It was at this point I wanted to know what the hell was going on, and so I asked for Davis and Zach to come upstairs with me so I could see what it was. They agreed and went up the stairs to look through my back door. By the time we got there, the light in the backyard had turned off, so it was hard to see. We stood for 5 minutes waiting for something to happen, but nothing ever did. We went back down to the den and decided to turn off the movie for the night and just sit on our phones and talk. We weren't really invested in it anyway. About 2 hours later, everyone was asleep except for me. I was just scrolling on my phone when the familiar glow of the motion light came through the window for now the 4th time. I was exhausted, though, and so I figured it was just another group of kids trying to prank us or something. But the more I thought about it, the less it made sense. I figured I would check the backyard one last time, and just like I thought would happen, no one was out there. I gave up, so I went back down to the den and called it a night. The next night came in the blink of an eye, and the next thing I knew, I had a bag full of candy. I felt kind of sad in a way. This was like my childhood ending. However, I figured I should just try and enjoy the night and not reminisce. At this point, I still had lingering thoughts about the previous night, whether I should tell Amber or not. She was scared of everything, and I didn't want to ruin a night with her over a story. We were at one of our last houses on the route when Amber let out a yell in pain. We asked what happened, and then she told us that she had a rock thrown at her. I turned around to find some guy in a clown mask standing about 15 feet behind us. I told him to get lost, but he just stood there. I analyzed him a bit more and realized this guy looked like a grown man, only he had a clown mask on. The rest of his costume was just normal clothes. We kept walking, but all the man did was stand there. It was at this point we called it a night and skipped the last few houses out of anxiety. We went back to my house so my friends could get picked up, and just like that, it was just me and my girlfriend looking at the candy on the floor in the den. She asked if we could watch a movie, so I decided that I would just turn on Paranormal Activity again later that night to finish it. I remember the scene in the movie perfectly. It was Michael walking around to find his girlfriend when suddenly the screen went black and the dimmed lights in the cave turned off. My girlfriend and I looked at each other. I realized the power just went out. This immediately made me start to get paranoid. The power had never gone out in this house unless there was a storm. I checked my weather app and it said it was normal conditions that night, not even a little bit of rain. I told Amber to stay in the cave, but she felt scared down there, so she decided to come upstairs with me to see what was going on. The generator to the house was in the backyard, and that's when I got the terrible feeling in my stomach. The thoughts of last night creeping back to me, and this time I didn't have Davis and Zach with me, and Amber wasn't very strong. All the worst thoughts came to my mind as I opened the sliding door to the backyard. All I heard was crickets chirping. I figured that maybe I was just overthinking. Amber and I passed by the motion light, which didn't kick on. Now I was about 5 feet from the generator when I thought I heard a twig snap. Amber and I looked towards the forest on the far side of the yard, with the only sounds being crickets, but we felt like we were being watched. I almost felt like I had to throw up. I decided we'd rather stay in the house with no lights on than be out here. I didn't want to be outside any longer. Amber started making her way inside, and that's when I saw him. The same guy in a clown mask standing to the side of my shed.
No.
Girl, we just stared at each other for a while. It's you. We just stared at each other for a while. I can't. Like he was trying to scare us. And then he jumped forward and started sprinting at us. I ran to the back door and slammed it shut after Amber. We ran down into the cave and we got behind the bar in the corner of the room. That's when I realized I never locked the back door, and we heard a slam from upstairs. Now everything was silent in the man cave. Amber started texting 911 because she was too scared to talk. She explained that there was a man in the house. Minutes felt like hours. It must have been 10 minutes tops, and the sound I had been dreading to hear came. The basement door opening. I heard footsteps come down the stairs and down the hallway. My girlfriend was breathing too loud and I had to cover her mouth. I heard footsteps coming towards our direction and then stop. I was starting to think my only option might be to fight if he finds out where we were. I grabbed a beer bottle from behind the bar and prepared myself mentally to fight if I had to. The room stayed silent for a while, but then we heard sirens come from outside, and I realized this was the perfect distraction and my moment to strike. In a fraction of a second, I got up, ran at him, and swung at his head with the bottle, but I tripped and fell after I swung and I hit the ground. I looked up to see that man with the clown mask from earlier. I think his mask somewhat blocked my swing because he barely flinched. I realized this was a stupid idea because it seemed like he was about to go back upstairs after hearing the sirens anyway. He looked down at me on the floor. I was about to yell at Amber to run as I laid on the floor, scrambling to get up. My legs felt numb, and I realized my life could potentially end right now. But the police could be heard outside. The man stared for another moment before running up the stairs. Then we heard the back door open and slam again. I ran upstairs to let the police in and told them he went out the back, and of course, I'm sure you're wondering, the answer is no. The police somehow never caught this guy to my knowledge. I can't go down to that man cave anymore alone without feeling anxious, even to this day. So we would hang out at Amber's for a while after that. There's nothing I can do but look back and be grateful that we're still alive. I'll never forget the feeling of looking up and seeing that clown mask staring down at me as I flailed on the ground.
Okay. Okay.
I move away and it's just you staring down at me. I'm like,
I'm scared.
I'm shook.
I have to, I can't take that. That's so bad.
To talk with you about clowns in this moment is just like,
I don't know what you mean.
I just par for the course, baby.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God, we haven't talked about clowns in forever, I feel like. Like, we did an After Dark on them one time. Is there a reason to talk about?
They're scary.
Yeah.
But also, was scary. This reminded me of the 2016, epidemic of clowns. Scary clowns.
That's what this is. Okay, that's what this is from.
It must be. Yeah.
Ooh,
what was that about? What was that?
I have no idea.
Cultural phenomenon of people just trying to scare each other. But, those are people who were just, waiting, presumably alone in, desolate areas, like parks and the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
Waiting to come across somebody only for the thought to know, if I showed up in a place where they would suspect nobody is.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
During that story, every single time you got to a corner, I was like...
Oh my God. It's honestly kind of nice reprieve. Every time I started talking about the clowns, I was just I was like, I can't look. I can't look.
I know, because I'm over here on bated breath and I'm like... Clown?
You're a clown.
You're a clown.
You're a clown. I'm the clown.
You know what you are? You're a clown. You're a clown.
You with the red hair. Oh my God.
Have you ever had a break-in or anything close to that with any of your homes, dorms, any place that you lived?
I've only had, I think I told you this one time. There was somebody that walked into my dorm room. She's like, did I ever tell you this?
Mm-mm.
And I guess he was sleepwalking or maybe drunk, but I'm literally dead asleep in my bed. And my bed was if the door entryway was here, my bed was right here. And the door comes flying open and the light just came in so fast. And I woke up because of the light and I just turned and there was this super tall dude standing over my bed, staring at me.
Did he... Wait,
and
so
I was
he seem unconscious?
Hello?
Or he would...
he seemed stupefied. He seemed out of it.
Dazed. Okay.
Dazed. Because I think either way, I think he probably was just drunk and was trying to figure out if this was his room or not. But I was like, hello. I was like, this isn't your room. And he was like, oh. And then just turned around and I slammed the door behind him.
He went. My little angel. Cuckoo. I'm not gonna be able to let it go.
I feel like you're gonna be in this makeup till 2 a.m. tonight.
First of all, the TikToks that will be made, the videos that will be sent, the calls that will be placed.
The prank calls.
That I'm gonna post on the Long Legs Reddit, the subreddit.
Yeah, you have to. You absolutely have to.
Because other people have done costumes, but dare I say,
I don't think anybody's.
I think I've delivered
hit
a little
this stride.
bit.
Yeah.
That was very spooky. I don't think I can share in that experience with you. I don't think I've ever had an experience. No, actually, you know what? There was some really scary shit that happened with, oh God, what was it? It was in my original apartment in LA, and I lived there with Bryce and 2 other people, and I was watching a movie one night with Bryce. He was on, I was on the sofa. He was on like the side seat, and somebody was shining a flashlight under our front door, which you can see from like where you're sitting facing the TV. And I was like, the hell is that? And I went to the door, like to the like peephole, and I looked out, and it was 2 guys were out there with pillowcases clearly filled with rocks. And I literally turned to Bryce and I said, call 911 right now. Idiot was like, no, we're not going to call 911. And I was like, get them on the phone. Of course. Like, I was whispering the whole time because I was like, what? They either think that this is somebody else's apartment and they're about to like put a hit on somebody. When people show up to your door, which by the way is like locked with like, I don't know, a piece of plywood. Like we have no real like reinforced lock system. And they're shining a flashlight under the door. And they've got pillowcases with rocks. Something's about to go down.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing to defend myself except this.
Yeah, except this mug.
They open. Wait, okay. So the burglars, they bust open the door. This is the first thing they say.
They run. They freaking run the other way. Honestly, you need to make a cutout right now. First of all, it's just so funny because you're so attractive in real life. Like, I'm actually having like a disassociative episode because I know what you look like in real life, obviously. And this is like, I cannot believe my eyes right now that this is you.
Something's manifesting physically in me. But yeah, that was the only like break-in that I remembered, really.
Oh my God. This is really dark. This is really dark. But the only other like thing I could pull on from this is when my brothers were, this is Longlegs-esque actually, when my little brothers were probably like 10 and 11, some guy came up to them in our front yard and was like, are your parents home?
I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember this. Yeah.
And they were like, yes. And I actually don't think they were home. I don't think my parents were home at the time. Like, I think my mom had like walked down the street or something to a neighbor's, but was close by. And my brother was just like, yes, like just lied, like knew immediately that something was wrong. He was like, oh, okay. Well, can I talk to them? And they were like, no.
Do you think it really was something sinister? Or do you think it was like a solicitor?
100%. Yeah.
You do think it was sinister?
I do think it was sinister. Yeah.
Why? Because did nobody else get a visit on the street?
I don't think anybody got a visit on the street, but I think when you're a little kid, and I think it's very odd to approach 2 little kids and just say, are your parents home? Like, can I talk to you guys? Like, I just think that's weird.
Well, especially if you look threatening. I mean, you really have to look more like this if you want to approach children and get them on your side. If a child saw me right now, what would happen?
In LA, they'd probably be like, no.
Wait. Okay. You're a child. You go, what do you, I don't know what you say. Say something with the child.
Is sir? That's it. Wait, that's actually it. The long legs is like you just got flared nostrils and you're like, yeah.
Mommy!
Okay, wait, you know what you just reminded me of? The lion, the lion from the Wizard of Oz. That's also what
Enough is enough. I'm going to shift into my story.
Oh my God, do it, baby. I'm ready.
I do have one, and then I think we have one more after that. Then we have a Q&A.
I do.
We have a little Q&A.
Oh God.
I sent you stuff in, you should have an email.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Doing law admin. I'm trying to remember my story now that I found, because it was a submission. Mine is not at all similar. Actually, I had asked you before. It's funny that you told a story about someone breaking into your dorm, because that is going to be the direction that we're going to go with this. College.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Brace thyself.
I'm brust.
Let's see. I'm submitting this to be shared anonymously, but please keep my name and information private, which I will. I went through a period of unrest over this from the time that I was in college, but I'm doing all right now. And actually, telling the story somewhat frequently to my close friends feels somewhat therapeutic. When I was in school, college that is, in the early 2000s, something happened to me on my campus that actually took quite a bit of convincing of other people to believe it actually happened and that I experienced what I did. I went to a smaller school, but still large enough that I could live on campus in a dorm. And we have general late night stuff that's kind of around and in the area that you can walk to in the middle of the night. So it was my sophomore year. Towards the end of the semester, most of us were actually finished up with finals. I still had to hang around for one last final, but pretty much everybody was already gone for summer break. Now, it is a normal situation that I wouldn't normally go out, I suppose, at night by myself. However, it is normal that I would want something late at night, and I would want to go and get a late night snack. Usually my girlfriends were there. This time they were not. But this was around finals, and that week had just had me up all night, very late, making flashcards, and I knew nobody else on the dorm floor was going to be around to walk with me because it was nearing close to 2 a.m. I was starving, and I wanted to run down to this pizza place that I knew was going to be open till 3, since I knew it would be the only spot where I could get something at this hour, and it was about a 10-minute walk from my dorm building. That choice I made to go out on my own was one that I would regret to this day. I had no way of knowing what was in store for me that night. So I ended up grabbing my wallet, my keys. I did have a cell at the time, but it was some kind of a shit Nokia phone that would frequently use service, and I actually didn't even bring it with me before I left. I just set out on foot. I'll leave the name of the place as a blank, otherwise I think you'll probably be able to figure out which campus I was on. But basically, I set out, and I walked the 10 minutes to get this calzone wrap that I could always go for, and then something happened. It was pretty dead, because again, it was a weeknight, and it was less than an hour until closing, while I was waiting inside for my order, but I did notice that there was someone who was sitting off to the right corner of the restaurant by a support beam, all by themselves. It was a guy, maybe a little bit older, I'd say maybe in his mid to late 30s, with dark, curly, kind of greasy hair and very pale skin. I don't exactly remember what he was wearing, but I knew it was like a few different layers. Definitely a jacket, maybe a hoodie underneath, and something that was way too hot for this time of year. What was freaking me out was that he was grilling me the whole time that I stood there waiting for my order. Didn't say anything. I could just feel that he was looking at me. Eventually, once I got my order, I pretty much booked it out of there, and I went for a sharp turn out of the restaurant and back towards my dorm, and I kept checking over my shoulder for most of the way to make sure that I wasn't being followed, since the campus was pretty much dark and deserted at this point. And I kept imagining that if I were to scream or something was going to happen, that nobody was going to hear me. So later that night, after I had gotten back, I pigged out, I finished up any flashcards that I had left, I was pretty much ready to run to bed. So I was going to run out to the hallway so I can go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. And this is the part that makes me sick to think about. Like I said, campus was a ghost town, so I didn't expect to see anybody in the bathroom, and I was right. Nobody was in there. Nobody was really on my floor, for that matter. I brushed my teeth, and I washed my face. I had already changed into my pajama shirt back in my dorm room for the night, and I was about to walk back to my dorm when all of a sudden I heard very loud and very quick footsteps running down the hallway. That freaked me out pretty bad, not only because pretty much everybody I knew on the floor had already left campus, but this wasn't like a weekend-style night where people would be rowdy or they would be running or anything like that. I don't know. I can't fully explain if you weren't there in my shoes, but it just seemed that someone wouldn't need to sprint like that unless there was something that was going on. So I basically moved to the bathroom door and I poked my head out just to see what was happening when I realized that there was something wrong. The door to my dorm was partially open and was slightly moving. Not as if somebody was behind it, holding it and moving it. It was like they had just opened the door and it was kind of naturally on its way to a close. Like somebody might be standing behind it. I was getting a really sick feeling in my gut, to be honest, and I couldn't tell if it was just adrenaline or paranoia that was taking over, but for whatever reason, I had fully convinced myself that maybe, whether or not I did leave my door open, somebody had definitely gone in my room. It was still moving even at this point when I realized it. The only lucky part about this story was that I was directly across, or what was directly across from the girls' bathroom was the door to the stairwell, and I swear to God, I could not have been in a luckier position than where that door was to see my dorm room door open and slightly moving and straight across to this door to the stairwell. So I just kind of slinked over and I very carefully opened it and I slid through the door to run down to the floor below me to their common area and use their phone to call campus police. Long story short, I was lucky that since everybody was pretty much gone, campus police arrived almost immediately, and I remember this, and this was the worst part of it. After I had explained what I thought I saw up on the 4th floor where my dorm was, they made their way up and quite literally caught a man exiting my room number.
Oh.
He was actually caught in the act. So to skim over some of the longer details of the night, yes, I came back upstairs. There were lots of backup who ended up coming to the dorm, lots of police, lots of questions, and I didn't actually see a photo of the guy until the next morning. And it was just as I thought. It was the same dude where I got my takeout order. I knew it. Even though I didn't see him doing it, and I kept imagining the whole time that he was following me, I was right. The guy followed me all the way to my dorm and then basically hung out at the side of the building as I was going in and then held the entrance door while it was closing behind me. For our dorm room doors, they didn't automatically lock. They only locked if you turned the lock on the inside and then closed the door behind you, which I did not do because I was just running to brush my teeth and wash my face, so I didn't bother. He had slipped into my room and was waiting for me to come back.
Oh.
According to the cops, they told me that he had no weapons on him, which actually made it feel grosser in my mind. Because I kept thinking, if I hadn't walked out of the bathroom in that moment and saw my door moving, I would not have known that there was somebody in there, and I would have walked right into the lion's den.
Oh my God. Ew. Oh, there's something about like late night, like almost being in a diner or something, like one flickering bulb of like a restaurant, like super late at night. That was just making me think of, it's freaking me the hell out.
What is that? You're right, though. There is something like unnerving about like technically being very well lit, but it's displacing. There's something you don't like about it.
Yeah, like super fluorescent lights, and also I guess most people aren't eating at that hour, so it's like whoever's there. Mm-hmm. It's like what's your story? You got a story.
I hate being in places when they're closing, if that makes sense. That really puts a bad pit in my stomach when like I'm about to be the last person there. That really makes me like on edge. I don't like that at all.
Oh my God.
Like doing lockup for a shop or something. No.
I haven't done, oh my God. Yeah. I remember doing like a closing shift when I worked retail, and it's just
Anthro?
At Anthro. And it's like so freaking
Can I help you today?
Can I help you?
So what are we looking for today?
God, it also, you brought me back just now to, what was the case that we did? Michael Negrete?
Mm-hmm. Michael Negrete.
Yeah, and he was the guy that, he was in the dorm, right? Or did he ever make it back to his dorm?
Well, we don't even know where he actually went or when he went there. There were a couple of witness statements from what I remember who saw him, might have seen him leaving his dorm. But Michael Negrete, he had finished playing a computer game against someone on his dorm floor in a separate room.
Yes.
Went over to that guy's room to be like, congratulations, like, you kicked my ass. And then allegedly, that person saw him go back into his dorm where he had a roommate. Mm-hmm. Come morning, everything of his is still there. Keys, wallet, shoes, all belongings. It was as if he walked out of his dorm, maybe to use the bathroom, and then something happened on that floor.
Yeah.
Although nobody heard anything, nobody really saw anything.
Yeah.
To this day, nobody has found him.
Oh, God. I remember there being some, was it possible there was a witness that, or somebody thought that they saw a man coming up on the floor?
Multiple
people.
People saw a man who looked too old to be in a dorm room. He was in his mid-30s. And I just remember what freaks me out about that case, if you'll remember it, when we covered it, I have a security system in here, and we were going through the theories, and we kept getting to this theory. I'm looking over at the security system now. We kept getting to this theory that was talking about the potential of him being sex trafficked by the unknown man who was in there. And every time we got to that theory, my security system that's off to my left hand was lighting up. And it's motion detected. You have to be like only a few inches in front of it for it to like light up, like you're going to press something. I'm
Did
freaking
it just
out.
happen?
No, it's not happening. I'm checking to see because I'm very overstimulated. As you can see, I'm on edge.
There's a lot happening, and the lights and everything. I'm like, it's also like just getting spookier and darker behind me, and I'm just like starting to freak a little bit. Okay.
Isn't that scary though?
Yes.
Like in your dorm?
I don't want it. I don't
Stuff
want
going
it.
on in dorms. I'm not into that. I was scared enough, like even just like public showers and like public bathrooms in dorms, and like you got to be careful in those places. You're very vulnerable.
Yeah, well, you think you're safe in college, or you at least think you're like invincible in college.
Wait, there's like several like layers of protection, I guess, in your mind. You're like, well, you have to have a card to get into the building, but as you can see, clearly, people make it work.
Yeah. Can you imagine long legs just walking straight up into a dorm? I'm your new RA. Baby. I cannot.
I feel like the lipstick is making my teeth look nice.
It's definitely making them look white. How did you... Okay, as you were doing that story, I also was contemplating how you got the shading. Do you have foundation on?
Of course.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, what
Look at my face. Do you have foundation on?
What kind of foundation is
No, just a little light gloss.
What kind, baby? Like what shade?
It's the palest shade they had.
Oh my God.
It's the wattest shade there. Because I didn't want to go full like white face makeup because he doesn't really have that. He has, first of all, he has blotchy foundation.
Yes.
And it doesn't extend to like the full perimeter, like the full frame of his face. And he has like a little bit of like rouge that like shines through, but I think it's like his actual skin that's like shining through. Like the foundation is like patching off.
I thought that was so interesting reading about after that movie that like they kind of envisioned him as maybe being sort of botched, like having tried to get plastic surgery and it like
he's
wrong.
A doll maker. So I was like, it makes a total sense to me. I'm like, he is the doll.
Yeah.
And the dolls are the dolls.
I should have found a doll story. We've been talking about dolls a lot lately though.
We have. I mean, actually, I was just reading last night about, do you know what Laughing Sal is?
No.
Laughing Sal is this like extra large, like creepy mannequin that they used to have in like different like eerie theme parks, I think in like, I don't know, the 60s, 70s, 80s. And it's a style of mannequin and it's a woman who's like 10 feet tall with like short curly hair and like she's missing teeth. And she just kind of rocks and laughs and goes like,
oh God. Stop. Then you just start actually laughing. Oh God.
My eyebrows are peeking through. They're glued down too. Damn. And they're color corrected.
I'm just amazed that you did that makeup in like that was a short amount of time from when you texted me and said I'm getting ready.
I didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest. I was like, this could go real south. Yeah, so thank you.
Looks great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have another scary
I was going to say, we do have another scary story. The title of this cracks me up a little bit, but this is from DJ Gloom for You. This is from Reddit. Okay. True scary stories from Reddit. And it's called The Witch of Old Dixie.
Ears are perked up, listening.
Okay, here we go. So, I lived in Palm Coast, Florida for most of my young life until I was 21 and moved up north. At the time, Palm Coast and Flagler Beach were developed with mostly separated large housing additions full of streets that all connected to one another beginning with the same letter. As teenagers driving around, each friend lived in a different section, and we would specify the different developments as the W section, the R section, and so on. It's become more populated over time, so I'm sure a lot of areas have changed as far as my memory serves. Outside the areas of Palm Coast that were developed, it was mostly wooded areas with long, winding roads that went on for miles into the swampy areas of the Halifax River. They would eventually end in another town such as Ormond or Daytona Beach if you drove long enough. But nothing in between for a good 45 minutes at least, except dense tree canopies, random side roads, and the swamp. If you followed Old Kings Highway, which was equally as isolated, You would eventually find your way to our favorite road to take at night for long drives, Old Dixie Highway. A decent-sized group of us, either in one or two cars, depending on how many went, would drive down the highway and side roads leading to nowhere while blaring music, chain smoking, shit-talking, and otherwise being normal, bored teenagers, just trying to have some freedom outside of high school and our part-time jobs. Recently, we had heard about the ruins of an old house that was supposedly haunted by the angry spirit of the woman who had been killed there. A witch, so to speak. She was killed by a small mob after she was suspected of killing animals and abducting a handful of missing children. Her house was then vandalized as well as set on fire. The story went on to say that a group of campers stumbled upon it in the early 90s and set up camp. Their belongings and equipment were found days later by a hunter. Torn sleeping bags, broken lanterns, and clothes everywhere. The entire group was gone. No explanation. On the remaining walls and brick fireplace was graffiti, including satanic symbols. Being the no-fear type of kids we were, naturally, we set out at around midnight on a Friday to find this place, with only our knowledge of the roads and curves themselves that were told to us in the story to find the location. The story said there would be a set of brick pillar markers hidden in the brush that was the entrance to the property. We followed the winding road into the night full of excitement. This night we took 2 cars. There were 4 in one, and myself and my friend Jessica in her brand new 2004 Royal Blue Mustang. I was excited for her and wanted to take this car out for a spin. We came to the large curve in the road where we were told the markers would be. We slowed down and parked on the right side of the road, hoping we had enough room between the water and the side of the road to not sink or be sideswiped if someone came speeding by. Under a huge dead tree, we exited our vehicles, 1 flashlight and no shortage of nervousness and excitement. The sky was black, and we could hear the cries of animals in the distance. Our footsteps echoed as they hit the blacktop. Moss hung everywhere from the large trees that almost covered the area with a canopy of leaves. We made it to a small opening in the trees, and I pointed out the nearly demolished markers. The wind picked up and rustled the trees and bushes around us. This was it. The 6 of us bent back the brush and started to make our way down the path to the old ruins. We were scared at this point, and in complete darkness aside from 1 flashlight that my friend Jeff had while he was leading the pack and a few burning cigarettes in our anxious fingers. The path seemed to get more and more narrow and overgrown as we continued on. A few minutes later, we could see in the distance the brick fireplace that was still standing along what seemed to have been half a brick wall and files of rocks and rubble. I could see faded images drawn on some areas in red, but not completely clear of what they were. The air changed. Everything went still the closer we got. No wind, no sounds, and we were all silent. I stopped in my tracks and peered into the darkness around me. This wasn't right. This wasn't right at all. Jessica stopped with me and asked me if I was okay. Jeff went ahead with the others following behind him, and I was frozen. Something was here, and it wasn't happy that we were. Within a minute, I heard a shriek unlike anything I had ever heard before in my life, and I knew it wasn't one of us. The wind picked up, and the branches swayed heavily, angrily, and the sound echoed around us. Out of nowhere, I see the flashlight bouncing on the ground, followed by screams of Jeff and my other 3 friends. They barreled past us, screaming, "Go, go, 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 go!" The flashlight left where it was. Another shriek from the distance. I gathered myself and took off running with Jessica until we made it back to the brick markers. We dispersed onto the road in a state of panic, not really sure what had just happened. One of the other girls was crying and raced back to the cars. I turned to look towards the area we had just fled from. It wasn't done. My blood ran cold. The wind picked up. Something was watching us. I could feel it, as sure as if I could actually see it coming from behind the trees. I took off running for the Mustang with Jessica in tow. The others had loaded up into the car behind us and started it. We jumped inside and shut the doors, locking them out of instinct. I still felt it, right outside the car, watching us. Jessica put her keys into the ignition and started it. Nothing. The car behind was pulling away and retreating back down the road the way we came. The Mustang sat in silence. She fired it up again. Nothing. Not even the lights flickered, but the engine kicked and jerked, but it would not fire. My gaze was set directly in front of me outside in the dark. I could barely see the old tree we had parked in front of. The hairs on the back of my neck were straight up. This was a warning. This was no game. The fear was real, and whatever it was wanted us to know that we were not welcome there ever again. I was shaking, and Jessica was screaming at her car to fire up. Suddenly, we got still for a moment, in shock at what was happening. We looked at each other and heard what sounded like a branch being drug across our driver's side door. And then with that, the feeling in the air changed again. It became almost lighter within an instant. She fired up her car and started it on command. We backed up into the road and made a U-turn to head up Old Dixie Highway. We could see headlights in the distance. Jeff had come back when they realized we weren't behind them. We made our way around the curve and followed the other car home at a slower than normal pace. We smoked silently, just glancing at one another. I once in a while was like, what the hell just happened? We made it back to Palm Coast and stopped at a gas station for some coffee. Jeff never said what he saw back there, and we never told the others exactly what had happened to us in the car. Jessica did have a long scratch down her door, but it wasn't very deep. She told everyone that she parked too close to a large bush at some point, and we never really talked about it again. We still took weekend night drives here and there, but never went super late at night or in less than a group of 3, and we never stopped in that area of Old Dixie Highway ever again.
Oh.
That gives like Blair Witch Project energy.
That's what I was like, this is playing out like a movie in my mind, and it feels like Blair Witch.
Yes.
Oh. And it's also because I just watched The Witch that I'm like, anything with like Woods Witch themes, it's too much.
Like satanic imagery.
Yeah.
Carvings. Oh, God. What would you rank The Witch, by the way? As an A24.
Oh, as an A24? It's not up there for me for like A20, like the best of A24's horror by any means. I don't think I was interested the whole way through, but as far as like the horror elements, it was less about that. I feel like for most of it,
it was like a pretty early horror movie that I feel like they did. Maybe,
isn't there like a pair of brothers that direct most of the A24 movies? It's a pair of brothers, the Safdie or Safdie brothers or something.
Oh, yeah. The guys that do like Uncut Gems and I think it is Safdie, Josh Safdie.
Yeah, don't they? I thought they do like most of the A24 movies.
I honestly don't know if they did. I feel bad. I'm like, who the heck directed Pearl? We're two cinephiles over here. God. Oh, baby.
Shall I shift us in a little bit? Do you want to do a Q&A?
I was like, let's shift into a Q&A. I'm imagining you like on a talk show couch right now, getting ready to do this Q&A. And
this is me on the Drew Barrymore show.
Yeah. And she's right up there with you.
This is Drew. This is me.
She's kissing you. Yeah.
Do you have the Q&A pulled up?
I do.
Oh, boy. Hold on. Also, it was reminding me so much of, I don't know, just like high school, like antics of like going out in the middle of the night and then something really freaky happens and like the group doesn't really know what to make of it. That's a trope in like movies and TV, but there's a reason for that. Like those things do happen. Like you have those kind of memories.
Also the moment where he said that they were just like, go, 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 like running past and you just, that really gets me.
Agreed.
Is that itchy? Not 1999.
No, I'm just adjusting my hairline. Part for the course. It has a middle part, this thing too. So I was trying to like get it to like, because he has a side part. And it's like combed back a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. May I ask you a question?
I was gonna say I can also go first. Yes.
Whatever you'd like. My goodness. Okay. We have some here from actual users. These were I think submitted on Instagram for some of these. Yeah. So we're gonna try to say your usernames as well.
Okay, I kind of want to ask you one because we were talking about it earlier today.
Yes.
This is from Emily Morey, and she said, "How badly did Bly Manor break you, Silas?"
Oh, God. Truth be told, towards the end, I will not spoil anything. And there's a couple of things I could say about it. I won't spoil anything. But towards the end, I think I had gone into it with the same feeling of Hill House. I don't know if you watched that series on Netflix either.
I haven't. I've seen like one episode. I have not sat down and watched the whole thing.
That'll make you shit your pants for sure a couple of times. But I had gone into it with the same sort of thought of like, this is really going to lean into the horror element, like the scary of the haunt. And I think I left with the same feeling of like, I was just in like emotional destitute from some of the sadder parts of it. It was sad towards the end.
Like true, like, I don't know, kind of the sinking feeling you get when you watch
a
Black Mirror episode almost.
If I had a cigarette right now, I could be your agent. A cigarette and a shake. I'd be like, honey, the market's bad.
I could like slowly turn into Miss Hannigan, I feel like, in this outfit for some reason. I don't know why.
I want to play Hannigan on Broadway exactly like this. Little girls, everywhere I look, I see them.
I see him.
Little girls everywhere I look.
That's so good.
See them.
Wait, that's actually brilliant.
SNL, come knocking. Let me ask you a little question. Let's see. Okay. This is from Jess Limas. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for the question, Jess. This says, your best and worst Halloween costume. I want you to go first.
Oh my God. I think my best was Timothée Chalamet recently, where I did
that was pretty spectacular.
That was like, I spent a little too much time on that.
Well, you also did Julia Fox, which also looked great.
Did Julia Fox too, but I felt like the Timmy, like, do you know who Law Roach is?
Yeah.
Okay, he said something.
Zendaya
that was like,
stylist, yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Former
and he was always
stylist.
like, "Oh wait, they're not together anymore."
No, I don't think so.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that.
I think he's fully retired. Wasn't that the whole like news story that circulated?
Oh, I didn't know. I just saw him on the Today Show.
What? Like, he's still out there like living his life. He's not on the ground, but
just not like image
architecting.
Maybe.
Yeah, I gotta look this up. Hold on.
Being like a full stylist.
The last thing on my phone.
That scene, I don't want to spoil anything for the creepers, but that scene in particular where it's like standing at the bus stop, just like waiting.
Me in 7th grade in the cold when they didn't cancel school.
God.
This is young one.
Stop. Oh my God. I want to know who the costume director was for Long Legs, because this is like such a specific person and look.
It definitely pays. It's an homage to Silence of the Lambs, and like I think there's a few different maybe real people that they pulled from for this, but I cannot be sure. But I have my suspicions. Let me see. La Roche. You a tired baby? Not La
You were tired baby.
La Roche Pazay.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I feel like Law said something like, when you're a Halloween costume, but it's like a fashion moment, like that's how you know you're iconic or something. He said that one time.
Coco Moco says that too. She says was really? Like, whenever like your silhouette becomes a Halloween costume, that's when you know the imagery is burned forever into people's minds, because they can look at the shape of that and they're like, that's that person. Makes sense.
I think it's just like kind of hilarious that my moment for that, I was like, let me be Timmy Chalamet at Cannes.
I mean, it landed to me. When I said the first thing, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know who that is.
It was fun. I would say my worst costume was a panic costume I made when I think I was in like 5th grade.
Costumes.
It's always the panic
always
costumes.
The last minute ones. They suck.
I could not figure out what to be, and my mom was like, "Well, what is your friend being?" And I was like, "I think she's being a Hershey bar." And like, she had made this like amazing like cardboard like went around.
How old was she?
Like 5th grade, maybe 4th grade. She was 17.
That registered as 15. She was like, "So I'm going as a Hershey bar."
You're like, "Baby, everything good over there?"
Well, as if I have like a leg to stand on about like everything good mentally when you're dressing up as people.
Clearly, neither of us are mentally well or have been for a long time. So
you are the habit. Go on.
But I think I just like put together, I was like, I'll just be a Crunch bar, and my mom wrapped aluminum foil around me and we wrote Crunch on it, like, or printed out a Crunch bar thing. That was pretty bad.
I think handwriting your costume is like where the line is drawn, where it's like you're no longer doing a costume.
I know.
You're doing public humiliation. I did that for college where I was also in a pinch, and it was a costume party, and I could have been more creative. I don't know why I did this, and I thought it would be like fun and cheeky, and I did a white t-shirt with the text on it, drunk text, or just the text, text. I wrote text on the t-shirt, and I got drunk. So I was like, I'm a drunk text.
I love that. Yeah.
I hate that in hindsight. I'm like, what a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's so
but
not
it's
good.
College. It's college where it's like, if you go too hard, people are going to be like,
I don't know. I mean, when you go to those theater parties, I feel like the name of the game is like, who's going to show up and show out, because
right.
People certainly, no expense was spared when they wanted to do like a fun costume, and nobody was trying to look sexy.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That was always funny to me, because I remember distinctly years where I definitely tried to be sexy, and it just was like, I would show up to the party, none of my friends looked that way, and I was just like, okay.
What were your sexy costumes?
Like, I remember one year I did like Red Riding Hood or something, and it was like one of those, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like those, like, the hell, Leg Avenue. Those, you know what I'm talking.
Yeah, there's a way to spin that immediately, where you read the room and you're like, okay, this didn't work. I'm gonna have to go find a mop head, put it on my head, and say I'm Bernadette Peters and Into the Woods. It's the only, and go around doing the impression all night long.
Yeah, exactly. And it did not land. What was your worst costume?
That was my worst. The drunk text.
Wait, well, what's your best costume?
Mama, look at the material.
Yeah.
Look at the material. I mean, this is definitely one that I feel like I put the most effort into in recent years, but I also, what other good ones have I done? I went as Pennywise one year in like 5th grade, I think.
Oh my God.
And I went pretty hard with that one as far as like fake teeth inserts and everything. Like I really like went the extra mile. That's one of the best that I remember from like my childhood, but also the most camp was definitely me going as the Wicked Witch of the West. Like full gown, full hat, full wig. No questions asked.
My favorite is that you said that you were telling people you went as Margaret
Hamilton.
Margaret Hamilton, the actual actress's name. That's so funny to me. Oh my God.
Hyper specific. I'm sure Scott, I want to ask Scott, because I know Scott has like crazy Halloween costumes he's done. I have to ask him.
Oh my God. Well, based on y'all's friendship and the things I've seen, I do not doubt.
You don't even know the half of it. Like Scott has so much like, but not even just between like our text friendship. Scott has so many like old videos from his childhood and like middle school days that he took. Like he used to make like videos and like record himself a lot. He has a crazy childhood.
Like in costumes?
Yes, doing skits in like 4th grade, like playing Oprah Winfrey. Like Scott has a history, honey.
I know
that you don't know about.
This. I know. I need to see. I need.
You guys think I'm crazy? My God.
Okay, let me ask you a question, baby. Let's see.
Can't stop looking at his face.
I know. Oh God. Okay. What made you realize you wanted to do this for a job? This is from Riley F72. You know I was being shady asking that.
Well, I think that maybe I was always a storyteller, and I think this just helped me realize it.
Yeah.
That I was like, I think this is really like what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think I've always thought I feel good when I tell stories. So to put it in this format, I think that was when I knew that I was like, yeah, this feels really right.
Yeah. You mean podcasting specifically, or do you mean like telling creepy stories on any format?
I think telling stories in general, but I think specifically telling creepy stories because I'm naturally drawn to the occult. So I think between TikTok, between YouTube, and like all of the different ways that CreepTime has expanded, I think that was when it feels right. Sometimes maybe it just is right.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I would say, wait, I'm dying at the music in the background.
Maybe if you want it off, I'll go outside. I'll go, shut it off.
Oh my God. Now that I would pay good money to see.
I should go out and okay. If I did like a GoPro moment and went out in public like this to like Trader Joe's.
I actually cannot imagine.
Do you guys have pumpkin
do you have the
spice? Where are the lemon bars?
I cannot. Do you have your, what are they called? JoJo's.
Where are the generic brand Takis?
I can't. Oh my God. Well, I mean, you asked me to co-host this, but I feel like I realized that I've just loved us like getting to be, well, first of all, I've always had an interest in mystery and things that are maybe not so like much the occult at first, but I've always been obsessed with like mystery and like reading Nancy Drew when I was little and stuff. So I mean, it was like kind of a dream that we get to like talk about all this stuff together.
You do have a bug for it. You have I can tell that like your eyes light up. I think more so on the paranormal and like suspicious side, like that side. I think is where you start to be like, there's a change in the wind. It's mischief. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's mischief, baby.
I think that's what it is. So I kind of see you come alive sometimes when you talk about those things. So I don't know, maybe that's something we should explore in the future. More paranormal, more sinister mystery.
It is the month. It is the month for that.
Is it? Is it? Huh. Oh God, I sprayed it away too, so it wouldn't like bother me. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I think we've kind of answered this. Hold on, let me skip down and see if there's another one. If you and Stu were to do a Paris costume, what would you be? This is from Livy Live.
Oh my God. What would we be?
We almost did something in Vegas. I suggested Sunny and Cher, but I'd be Cher since I'm taller.
Yes.
And Sunny's short.
Oh my God. That would be honestly an incredible pairing for us. I would do that in 5 seconds.
Or we could do Long Legs and is it Lee?
Lee.
Lee, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we actually talked about doing Pearl and like we were talking about doing like the old couple and Pearl, like Pearl, but the old lady version and you being the old man.
Yeah. That would
but also that would be funny. Flip too.
Or you could have been the nun in Long Legs as well. The mother when she's dressed up as the nun.
Yes. Oh my God.
I gotta be careful about not spoiling anything.
I know. I was gonna say the mom is like arguably the creepiest character to me, but again, yeah. We won't.
It's an interesting character too. And I thought it was so funny. Or not funny, but I was just like, what a strange like choice casting wise for some reason. I took that back entirely towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, she's right.
Yeah, I can't say much more because I feel like I will spoil it.
What would be another fun Paris costume for us? Okay, let's think. What are we going to do sexy? I mean, this is all fun and whatnot, but what if we were going to do sexy? Is there a sexy theme you've ever wanted to explore in a Halloween costume?
As a pair,
I mean, truthfully, you can pick any costume and just split it into like gendered costumes, and it becomes a pair.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always loved, this is like so lame, like old school, like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Do you remember Natasha and the, I forget her like husband's name, but they're like these like Russian, like villains. It's like Natasha's the really tall one and then he's really short and stout.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
That would be me.
I've seen this like archetypes. Like,
yeah. But like super like dark long hair and she wears like purple eye makeup. I always just like loved the two of them as a kid.
Oh my God. I just had a thought. I'm like, you would do really well as Elvira. That would be cool for you.
Oh, that would be fun.
Elvira would be cool. I was going to say pirate. We went as pirates.
Pirate. Luann and the pirate. Stop. Wait, I need to screenshot it.
It's so scary.
I can't.
Can you see my bottom wire? Oh my God.
Can you see my missing teeth? That's
You do not have missing teeth. Do you?
Yes.
Next question, please. Oh wait, it's your turn. I'm sorry.
No. Well, it is next question. Okay.
Also, just realizing I didn't take out my nose ring for this. I just applied makeup over it like amazing. It was invisible.
It's so good. Okay.
Do I have earrings in? I do. Oh shit.
That long legs.
I'm not historically accurate here.
I feel like I've asked you that before.
I'm happy to answer it again.
Well, what is your favorite horror movie franchise?
Oh,
I don't know if I know this.
No, I don't know if I know this actually. I'm trying to think. Well, I'm just trying to think of the ones that I return to the most often. And the first one that comes to mind is the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
That one is forever kind of like cemented in my mind, but I think there must be more. I never really got into like the whole Insidious hype when it all happened. Or sorry, not Insidious. What am I thinking of? The Conjuring hype. Because like they've made a million different like variations of that movie, which is fine. I mean, I'm still interested in it. Like I'll still watch it for sure. But I guess I'm not really into any of the modern franchises. I did see the most recent Evil Dead, which I did like. But that's a very different style of horror to me. It's almost like parts of it are scary, but parts of it are borderline like intentional camp. You know, like they're leaning into like all of the factors of the original Evil Dead from the 70s that people love.
Did you ever get into The Purge?
I saw the first two, but again, not a franchise that I like latched my teeth into.
Yeah. I never watched The Purge. And
it's a scary concept. It's very scary.
There was like something about it, not to be so like heady and deep about it, but there's something about it that I was just like, do we need a movie like that? Like that is so, the concept is so dark, but
some would argue that maybe that's exactly why we need a movie like that. To avoid like going down that road.
Yeah.
Do you know the full concept of it?
Well, I mean, I guess the only thing I really know is that isn't it?
That axe has gone in 6 different directions.
I'm like, isn't it? I'm cracking up also, Creepers, because I thought it was going to be like, she has a huge axe and I got it. I was like, this freaking baby axe. Like, thank you, Amazon.
It's like when you buy a couch on Amazon, they send you a little miniature.
Yeah. Essentially. So isn't the concept that it's one day out of the year that you're allowed to like just kill people?
Yes, you can do anything. There's no law.
Okay.
No laws.
Oh, there's just no law. Okay.
No laws. And I guess it's theoretically the government or even the... Sorry. I think a bird flew by. I'm getting scared and I look like this. You just see me go... Me in line at the Taco Bell.
Please go to Del Taco after this.
I can't. I want to, though. I'm starving. But I can't. But yeah, I think it's no laws, and that's their way of kind of like, I think, weeding out people who don't have the resources and the means to like board up their houses and defend themselves. It's their way of weeding out the weak, is what they say. And also it allows society to get out all of their anger, frustrations, and like redisperse some of the wealth in one night. So it creates some kind of a social and economic equilibrium is like why the government is enforcing it, which is a very scary and oddly, I don't know, logical approach to it, which I think is what makes people freak out and be like, oh, I don't want to hear something that could possibly happen if we like get any more dystopian.
So in the movie, the government is the one that like administers the purge?
Yeah. They sound the purge alarm, and there's like a big like national message that comes out, and it goes like, the purge is about to commence. Ugh. And then people purge.
Oh God, I really don't like that. Do you lean more towards liking vintage horror movies or modern ones?
The vintage, I would say. Yeah. Depends what we're talking about for like vintage, because there are some of like the slashers and stuff that came out in the 90s that I love. Like I love all of the Scream franchise, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably the one I'm closest to, that I would say, as opposed to Halloween. I really like Scream. I just watched Thanksgiving actually over the weekend. You seen that one?
I know. I never saw that. I was interested in that, fun. Though.
I mean, it's a true, like, campy slasher, but that's kind of like, when you know that going into it, you're like, great. Like, I can accept this because it's not trying to be anything other than what it is. And that's what makes it great.
Yeah. And is the concept behind that, like, Thanksgiving Day way back in the day?
No. The opening scene is, like, a Black Friday where, like, people died at, like, this huge, like, it was a Black Friday, like, store rush, and people were there, and it got so chaotic that, like, people died.
Oh
I shouldn't laugh, but, like, if you watch the opening scene,
like,
you'll get,
think of next?
You'll get, like, why I'm laughing. Like, it's almost like Final Destination. Also love the Final Destination franchise.
Final Destination.
But it's Final Destination level camp where, like, people are running in to get, like, waffle irons, and people are, like, breaking their necks and, like, getting crushed under things and, like, burnt. It's insane. So there is somebody from that day who is going to wreak havoc on the city, because they're in Plymouth, wreak havoc on the city to get their revenge, their Thanksgiving revenge. And there are all these murders happening throughout the town.
Freaky.
And what's her name? Isn't it Addison Rae?
Pepsi. Worst rendition of that song ever.
Wait, is that Addison Rae or Addison Beer? Am I confused?
There's Madison Beer and Addison Rae, but Addison Rae is Diet Pepsi. This is where Longleg's brain just goes. Diet Pepsi.
Look at that.
Stop. When you look down like that, I am unwell. I'm so unwell.
Phoebe, you open your eyes. You open your eyes, and you from sleeping peacefully in your bed. You get.
I can't.
Come and knock on our door.
I just thought again about, are you wearing foundation? That took years off of your life.
It did. It did. These lines that are drawn on, not drawn on, cemented. That shook me in a way that I will need time to recover from. Because the way it hit the ear was like, are you wearing makeup? Like,
I know. Oh, God. You were like just evaporating before my eyes.
Let's see. I'm going to ask you a question. This is from Rachel_M_Parker. Thank you, Rachel, for this question. If you could switch lives with someone, who would it be? Let's do it for like permanently, and let's do it for just a day.
Okay. I would like to switch right now. Charlie XCX. I would like to live her
permanently.
Life. Permanently. I'm dead serious.
Now, permanently, I would like to be Charlie XCX.
Permanently, I would like to be Charlie XCX.
I'm going to have to agree with that as well.
I just freaking love her, and I think she's probably having the best time of her life right now. And she's
having a peak. The peak of her career.
But she seems like a genuinely like very nice and happy person. That is just like so herself. I'm trying to think of for a day.
For a day, I would switch with a woman instantly.
Yeah, I would switch with a guy for sure.
Actually, Ben and I have talked about this a while ago because we were talking about like if you could switch bodies with like the opposite sex, like what would you do? And I was like, what do you think? And he's
what
like,
do you mean?
Yeah, well, there's a lot more to deal with. Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
I'm not going grocery shopping. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
God, I don't know. I guess they have to be an alive person, right? Alive person. I don't know.
A live person? Who the fuck do you... I'm talking
that's
to
a
now.
Deep cut. That's for next Halloween. We will be Jen from the bathroom.
Oh my God. That might be this 31st. I might do that. Because you know what? Like, now that I've got the makeup bug, I might just turn it. I might just have to turn it.
Please. Oh my God, I would love that.
Eyes are drooping.
I think like maybe this is shoot, I don't know. Like I mean, obviously it would kind of be nice to like be somebody really hot for a day, like Chris Pine or something. Although he's not in a good place right now. Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with Chris Pine?
I feel like he maybe had like a little bit of he was like going through something. So never mind. I was just trying to think of like the hottest
when
guys.
He was what was the movie that he was in with Harry Styles? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what was making me think of it. Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. I didn't see it. I think at one of the premieres or one of the screenings for that, there was a video, and they denied it, but like I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw, where like something's going on between like Harry Styles and Chris Pine allegedly, but like when Harry goes to like sit down, he hawks like a big loogie and spits it right in his lap. And like they denied it, their PR people denied it, everybody denied it, and I was like, well, what the hell was that? Like, it's not nothing. And Chris Pine reacts to it too. He looks down and he goes like,
I know.
So that made me think something's going on.
That movie had a lot of, let's talk about sinister lore. There was a lot of sinister stuff that people
going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes on that movie. And the movie itself is, in my opinion, I don't think it was as great as like the hype that it got. I think a lot of the hype was because of all the like Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde, and like did Olivia and Florence like each other? Or was that her name? What's her name? Yeah, Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, it was just, I feel like that's why the movie got a bunch of hype, and then I actually saw it and I was like, oh, this kind of fell flat for me. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
I keep getting his role confused with something. Wasn't he in a movie called The Policeman or something?
Harry Styles?
Thought so, yeah. Or he played a policeman?
Why do I feel like he was in Dunkirk and he played
No, he was in Dunkirk.
He wasn't, okay. And
yeah, but it's different from that. No, it's something else.
I don't know.
I will find it.
You will find him. I'm imagining Longlegs and Harry Styles just like sitting across from each other having a cup of tea.
Baby, the costume opportunity was here. It could have been you this afternoon. Hello, darling.
Oh my God.
I think I would agree with you too. I think long term, I would want to switch with somebody whose life I envy, but short term, I would want to switch with somebody whose aesthetics I envy. But also, I couldn't like trade off to a guy because like I already know the experience of being in a male body. So I would probably trade off to a woman. I just don't know who it would be, but somebody hot.
Who is like the most attractive like movie star in your mind, female? That you're just like, that's my kind of girl.
That's my kind of girl.
That's my kind of girl.
Well, coming from this visual aesthetic, as you can tell, I have my pick of the lot. So let's think. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's different like ages of different like beauty, but a woman that I've always thought, no matter what age she is, no matter what iteration of her life she's in, I've always thought she is so impeccably beautiful, is Angelina Jolie.
Oh, yeah.
I have truly always just been mesmerized that like a person can just look like that. And maybe she's had a few like nips and tucks, but who hasn't? I mean,
she is striking. She's one of those people that is just like, if you saw them on the street, you would completely like stop.
But also like some of her earlier movies, I think it's called like Cyber Hackers or something, but like when she's like in her 20s and like to look like Angelina Jolie but also have the vibrancy and the youth of your 20s is crazy. Like seeing her, they used to play that movie on like the HBO like TV channel, and I watched it and I was like, that's a wild looking person. Yeah. Like that's a like striking person when they walk in a room.
Her mother is also like incredibly beautiful, like the old photographs of her.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Also, between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, like, of course they're going to have the most gorgeous children you could imagine.
I know. I was about to say something so messed up.
Look at me. Of course they're going to have the most gorgeous children you could possibly imagine.
Oh, not the New York mug. Not the bowl coffee.
This is somebody you would see on the subway, by the way.
Like, 1,000%.
What would they... Okay, you walk down the subway, you see this face sitting in a chair. What are they saying? What am I saying?
Not the Michaels. I've told you that.
Oh my God, not the Michaels. Not my Michaels. Where the hell am I going to go? Joanne Fabrics?
Creepers.
Christ!
Wait, did I tell that on the podcast? I think
it was an After Dark or something. Baby,
it was probably an After Dark.
We're not going to get worried about repeating stories at this point. We're too deep. We're too deep into the psychosis.
But when I lived on the...
smile and laugh.
Cross eyes. When I lived on the Upper West Side, I was telling Silas this a couple weeks ago that one of my favorite New York like classic interactions was me walking past. I had my headphones on, this woman crossing me with her granny cart. And she just stops dead in her tracks. And I'm like, what's happening? So I kind of like take my headphone off. And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, oh my God, not the Michaels. Because this huge Michaels on 99th Street was shutting down. And it was just like one of those moments where I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, the freaking Michaels is shutting down. Like,
what did she say to you? Was she like, can you believe it?
She like literally didn't even acknowledge me. She just like needed my energy. She needed somebody there to like experience. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's awful.
Do it again. Do the impression again. She looks up.
Oh my God, not the Michaels. With the
it's the deadness of the eyes where you're like, oh my God, not the Michaels.
Not the Michaels.
Oh God,
it's
no.
Such a New York interaction. It's so good.
That would never happen in Los Angeles. Ever. Oh my God.
I'm like, are there even Michaels in Los Angeles?
Of course. I live very close to one.
Oh, do you?
I do. They've already got Christmas trees up, unfortunately. The bastards.
Oh my God. Get that. I wish I had little pumpkins here from a craft store, by the way. I thought that they might be able to be seen, but
wait, can I see them?
Twinkling.
Oh, wait, I see them.
Yeah.
Little fiber optics.
My little fiber optics. But that's it.
What if I walked into a hardware store right now?
You should. That's a brilliant idea.
And
to actually walk into
looking for
hardware.
doll supplies. I'm like,
yeah.
Do you have this?
What does he ask for in the movie? Like,
I don't remember. Actually,
oh.
I don't think he asks for anything. I think doesn't he just like grab stuff and he goes up to the counter,
puts it on the thing, and he goes coo 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 coo.
And that girl, balls of steel, being like, "You fucking weirdo."
I know. I have a question. Do you think that the dad was actually there? Because remember, she's like, Dad, that weirdo's here again. I always like wondered if that was a choice. Like if there's any choice that the director made that like that girl is like, I'm going to say that my dad's here and he's not actually there.
If she did, she was selling pretty well.
Yeah.
Because like she seemed very nonchalant to me. But sometimes when you are faced with something that's really scary, you do go like stone cold and you're like,
yeah.
That's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah. I feel like, wait, I was going to say, wait, don't I need to ask you one?
Do you? Okay.
I can't remember.
As you can see.
Wait. No, you go. I think I just asked your favorite horror movie franchise.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Oh, what is your favorite Halloween tradition? I feel like that's fun.
Oh,
What did you do when you were a kid? Like, what were the things that you did with your family?
Well, as a kid, this was amazing. There was a guy in our neighborhood that completely transformed his front yard into a stage and was Elvis every single year. Like huge lights. It makes me think of like Lauren would have probably thought this was so cool as a kid, but like huge lights, did this whole act. Like it went on for hours, and like you would just walk around the neighborhood and he would still be out there going, and it was like great production value. And then the guy passed away and everybody was like,
how could you pull the rug out from under me just now?
I'm sorry.
You build up this sentimental, cute story, and I'm literally smiling over here. You go, and then he died. I'm like,
sorry. But that was like, I felt like that, honestly, that was like my childhood getting like taken out from under me. I was like, wait, Elvis? I was like, Elvis is Halloween in my mind. Like, if he's gone, what do I have to live for, babies?
Oh, that's so sad.
I know. He was so
have
sweet,
you like
though.
Have any of the traditions from your childhood carried on to adulthood? Because you still decorate.
I still decorate a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I haven't done like a pumpkin carving in so long, and I used to love doing that.
It's tough to do in a city. Can I just say that? Can I be honest about that?
Yeah.
Doing a pumpkin carving.
Let's be real.
I'm gonna have to be.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Okay.
Doing a pumpkin carving in a city is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It can only happen in like a family dining room or like your grandma's big ass dining room that nobody uses, where you have a giant table and you lay down like a big thick tablecloth and you got to carve out a pumpkin and make the seeds.
Yeah. Or how about like a freaking backyard or a stoop?
There you go. We did it as that because we were chilly.
Oh, that's right.
We would get the pumpkin. We would wash the seeds. We would bake them.
Bake them. What is pumpkin carving like your memory you think of, or what was your tradition growing up?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it was a lot of like, I did grow up doing like spooky things with family.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like cornfields, haunted house walkthroughs, family seances, which was wild.
Shut up. Y'all did family seances?
This was mostly my mom driving this. She loved a good like seance where we would like sit down at the kitchen table. We would light a candle, and it was all like kind of like in fun, but we would sit down, light a candle. We would try to conjure the dead. It was so weird. That's serious.
I never knew that. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the reason. My mom was like most of the reason that I think I watched so many like horror movies as a kid, because we didn't have like rules about that in my house. And I wasn't a kid who got nightmares about those things all too much, as you can imagine.
Except, wasn't there somebody? Oh, no. I'm trying to think, in the house that y'all grew up in, wasn't there somebody that y'all thought had died there or something? Or was that your mom's house?
No, that's my current house, my current family
That's
home.
your current house? Okay.
Yeah, which is across the street from my old house that I grew up in, which is crazy, 360. But our current house that we live in, there's a few things that have gone down there. We believe that somebody took their life, the former wife of who lived there. We know for a fact the grandmother died in that home, I think in my sister's room. And there was also a really tragic accident there in the 80s where the whole house burned down. It was restored because the boy, who was like young, like maybe under 10, he did something in the garage and there was a huge explosion, like gas explosion. He was burned like horrifically. I think he also died in the home, but later on, like in his 20s or 30s. So we didn't know any of this, and we haven't experienced anything in the house, but we've been told this by people locally. They're like, you know what happened in that house. You know what happened there.
Ugh. I don't think I remember the little boy being burned.
You won't forget it now?
Yeah, I definitely won't. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how he died, though. It could have been from later on in life, he had complications from his injuries. I don't know if it was the same scenario as his mother, that she took her life, which I also don't know if that's 100% true. But from the things that we found that I can't mention here in the home, I think that's what happened.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is
was that the answer you were expecting? A lighthearted answer?
No, but I mean, it's like, it's putting me in the spooky feels. Oh.
Let me shift gears. I'm going to ask you a question from one of the creepers. Okay, this is from Mia G. Perez. Thank you, Mia, for your question.
Mia G.
This is a question about phobias. What is one of y'all's most irrational fears?
Well, I mean, hello. For the 8,000th time, birds is my biggest phobia.
I almost sent you a video last night.
Stop.
From a petting zoo of an ostrich that was going rogue.
My mom sent it to me this morning. My mom sent it. Sorry if I just blew your ears out. My mom sent it to me this morning.
You just see a stream of blood go down my cheek.
And I was like, what is, like, my mom, I love you, has this sick and twisted thing where she's like, I know you literally hate this and I'm still going to send it to you.
What is that? There's something about like seeking such enjoyment and seeing your loved ones like feel fear. Because like when my sister's screaming from terror for a prank I pulled,
yeah,
I'm at my peak of joy.
You're crying, laughing.
Actually, like my serotonin is like blowing out my brain right now.
I don't think I've ever heard your serotonin spike more than when we did the sleep paralysis episode and you made me watch that TikTok live. I've never heard you laugh that hard. Genuine joy.
I was peaking. Yeah, or seeing my sister with the microbangs. That did something to my brain. Like her misery equates to nothing but joy. That's the only way I could describe it. Oh my God, I forgot my nose was painted.
No, I keep forgetting it's painted. I feel like, because I'm looking at your nose ring, I feel like you had it like up or something, like something pinned it up. That's just painted.
Yeah, it's pretty convincing, I gotta say.
It is. It really is.
The lips, I really can't get it.
The lips are crazy.
Johnny.
I do have one really weird phobia. I don't think I've ever told you this. Of getting my bicep muscle sliced.
What is that from?
I have no idea. It's always been a fear of mine, like having a flexed muscle and getting it like sliced. It literally gives me chills. So just like thinking about it. I don't know.
Did you ever see that in like a movie or something?
I don't think so.
What is that from? Huh.
I don't know.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have one now that like, now that you're talking about like bodily things.
Okay.
Oh, did you ever use like the leg press in the gym? Did you ever do that? Do you know what the leg press is?
Yes.
Where you're like on your back basically and your legs are up in the air and they're pressing onto like the flat leg press, right? Like you're pressing into it. Mine is that that I straighten out my legs and they snap inward at the knee. That will put me in the grave.
No.
It'll put me in the grave.
Put me in the grave. That makeup.
Were you trying to kill me?
I need you to hop on a call with somebody so bad, and I need to just watch it.
We got to call all our business. We got to call Millie, all the business people. We're going to be like, so we wanted to discuss something very important with everyone.
Swear to God. Oh my God, I cannot.
It's so patchy at the eyebrows. It's really, oh my God.
I feel like your lips are getting like juicier as we go on, which I don't know how that's impossible.
I thought about matting them down because they were so like glossed. I was like, should I like powder them? Maybe? Because his lips are pretty dry.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's actually stupid good.
But I have another one too. Anything with teeth getting knocked out. Can't deal with that either. That's an irrational fear. Knock on wood, because like I won't. Oh my God, you know what I should do while we're on camera? I should have ordered DoorDash or something so I can go to the door on camera during the episode.
Shoot. Oh my God. I should have ordered it to you.
What do you you had no idea what you were getting into. You had no idea what was about to come on the screen.
Oh God.
I mean, did you expect
it? Wait, not you going, did you expect it?
Did you expect it, mister?
Did you expect it, mister? I did expect it. I did expect it to be this hard, this good, like this immaculate of a presentation. And I truly, honestly, when I was texting you going like, I don't want to log on, it's because I knew that I was going to like really start crying. Like when I saw you.
Oh God. Oh, here, I'll get us back on track. I'm sorry. I keep deviating because like I keep seeing myself in the camera and I'm like, bitch,
no,
this is too much.
It's my turn to ask you a question. Okay.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Let me see. No. Okay.
I feel bad. I want to get to all the ones with the users sent.
I know. Wait, I got to shout out my girl Anne. This is from Anne. Miss Anne. She said, if there was a horror movie about your life, what would the title be? That's a good question.
What would the title be?
The title.
I don't know. Ooh. For some reason, my mind is saying pressed, the word pressed.
Ooh.
But it's a double entendre because it's like busy, workaholic, working, so busy his life gets disrupted because there is a killer out there, but his method of the kill is that he crushes people to death. That would be such a crazy slasher, and he's known as like the press.
What the
heck?
And
there's also a reoccurring bit where we keep saying in the movie, press.
Yeah.
So that's
and like, she's pressed.
Yeah, like the puns just like never end. That's why it would be pressed.
Or your press junket for pressed would be amazing.
Yeah, God, I'm really pressed about this. I don't want to do it. I'm so pressed for time.
You're pressed.
Let's go do the press.
Oh my God. What? I just saw a movie where they killed somebody by pressing them. What the heck was the movie? They were in a car and they put it in a compactor.
That's a really gnarly way in horror movies for people to die. There's something. Did you ever see the movie
good too.
13 Ghosts?
No, I always wanted to see that. Yeah.
Kind of a sleeper hit. I had it on DVD. And there is a scene in that movie because the whole mansion is like from these intricate like moving glass walls. And there is a scene where one woman gets crushed between the walls. And the way they depict it is like really disturbing because it's just her face and she's like getting pressed and all of a sudden it just goes like really thin oval. And it looks so real. I can't describe it, but like as a kid I was like, no.
Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. Like something about, I don't know. I've always also been so scared of like just drowning in general. I think the idea of something just closing in on you and it's over.
Yes.
Oh God. That's like, cause I think you're the same way, like such like a survivalist mentality that like to know I had no escape.
I can't even think about what I would do. I don't think I would panic though. I think if I knew that like there was no way out, I think I would just I mean, who's to say? But like, I think I would try to keep my last moments like still, quiet, and peaceful.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Maybe that would be the name of mine. No Way Out.
No Way. Oh God, that's so
No Way
dark,
Out. That's
baby.
super
Jesus.
dark. I know. No Way Out. But that would be like my most horrific. Like that would be like one of my biggest fears. Like manifesting into something would be like, there's no way to get out of this. There's nothing you can do. It's over.
And there's so many ways that can be applied to, other than just like drowning. Like so many like ways that someone could die in that slasher film from like being trapped. There must be a movie called Trapped or something.
Yeah,
it's gotta be something like that.
Wait, can I deviate us for 2 seconds because I need you to see this movie if you've never seen it before?
What?
The Faculty
with Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Oh, I need to go back and watch that movie. I freaking love that movie.
That's what I'm talking about when I'm like, do you like the vintage like horror, like classic horror? I'm like, I do, but I also love early 2000s horror.
Yeah. That's like a very specific era. That's so good.
It's like the Final Destination era in my mind of horror. It's like when The Ring came out, The Grudge. Like, I fuck with all that. I'm into all of it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's the more modern stuff that I'm like,
I know.
I could take a pass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And it's not that I'm not like a modernist. Like I love like modern attempts at horror and, you know, morphing the genre, but some of the stuff that they put out lately is just like weak.
Yeah. Weak. Agreed. It's tired.
It's tired, baby.
Tired.
I'm gonna hit you with one more question.
Okay.
Let's see, Paris costume.
You winking.
If you could visit an area where a famous crime took place, where would you go? And this is from Alex_G_films. Thank you for the question, Alex.
This is really just duh answer, but it's just on my mind. I've never been, and I always wanted to go to Salem, and I've never.
Oh, the home of the witch trials.
Yeah, I want to go there so badly. Remember we talked about like taking a trip there a couple years ago?
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah, we should have done that. Something about like...
I mean, there's no time like the present.
Let's go, baby. There's something about historic, like that whole era is just very interesting to me. Like how much of it really like took place and who actually... Because so much of it has gotten like blown up over the last 300 years. But I feel like to go there, you would feel... the energy of it, to learn from the people.
I was going to say,
for so long.
Like talk about a place with sinister grounds and like you can feel, because I've been there. I went there as a child. My family took me there.
I didn't know that you actually went there before.
Yeah, I've been to Salem. I went with my brother. My sister wasn't even born yet.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd love to go there as an adult though.
I was going to say, you probably don't remember it all too well.
Well, I was the oldest, so like I must have been about like 7, I want to say. Mm-hmm. So I remember bits and pieces of it. I remember the museums mostly. I remember crying because there was a a witch who had the same last name as us, and I had convinced myself she was like a distant family member, and the whole narrative about her was that she had been hung, and I was like distraught over it. They were like, "No, we're not related." Whoever that is, but I remember my brother crying a lot because it was very scary. There's a lot of scary shit there. That's pretty much it. I don't really remember like any of the dining experiences, but I was also little, so we should go.
We should go. I just had a sudden urge to ask you to sing "Thrice by Mercury purified and spit upon the 12 tables."
How does it go? Thrice by Mercury purified and spit upon the 12 tables.
Honestly, Longlegs is a Sanderson sister, and I will not be told otherwise.
It's going to be my next costume. I should have gone as Winifred.
Oh, God. If I were, would I be Mary, or would you make me Mary, or would you make me the other one?
Well, who would be Sarah?
That's what I'm asking, because it's dependent on who our Sarah would be, or our Mary.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, if you were Sarah, who would be our Mary?
I'm asking you, baby. Who are you going to bring into the fold? Like they get hired on CreepTime.
I think Scott is going to be Winifred. Scott's going to be Winifred. And I want to be Sarah, but I really don't have the chest for it, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be Mary because I'm good with a vacuum. And you can be Sarah.
Okay. Done.
You're like, show me a contract.
Done and done. Yeah, Kathy Najimy in that role is... I'm actually jealous I wouldn't be Sarah. She's the best character, I think.
You want to talk about iconic. I mean... Those witches are iconic.
It's so good.
Did you ever watch the second one? Ever get around to it?
No.
I almost want to. I want to make you like not watch it, honestly, because I want you to preserve like the magic of what was from that time period and like that movie. It was just so right.
Oh, maybe I'll watch that tonight. That would be a good like October.
Little hokey pokey. It is the first.
Hokey pokey.
Little hokey pokey.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'll follow up on my question. I'll
wait. I was gonna say, what was the original question?
The original question is, what would be like one true crime case that you'd like to go?
Okay,
to
yeah,
person,
okay,
like,
yeah. Obviously, I need to hear yours.
Oh, you know what I'd really like to do, which is strange, but do you remember that case that we covered, I think out of Omaha, it was the young man who was walking only about like 3 blocks to the high school and he went missing?
Yes. He was like going to work at like Fazoli's or something that day?
Yeah, he was going to get a ride from his coworker. And he never met up with the coworker somewhere on that 3-block path in this like suburban, quiet, like low foot traffic area. He just disappeared. That always interests me, like doing the walking patterns and the walking paths of people's like last steps, because I try to put myself in the mindset of like what could have happened, like what am I not aware of, like in my surroundings, like where are my blind spots, like so I try to imagine that. And I did a lot for Mara Murray, and just there's actually a really sinister video. I can send it to you. There is someone who did the exact drive, and it's like a 2-3 hour video on YouTube. They put a camera on their dash, like a dash cam, and drove all the way from Mara's school in Massachusetts all the way up to the very spot where she crashed her car. So you can see moment by moment the exact drive of like what she was seeing. And the timing of it is a 1-to-1 match as well. You see the sun going down, like all of it is a 1-to-1. Oh. And it's very eerie to like actually be on that road from a POV standpoint.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting as somebody who's curious about unsolved true crime.
Yeah. You just made me think also of the woman that drove out, was it to Malibu and like met somebody for lunch?
Maitrice Richardson.
Yes, Maitrice Richardson. Met nobody. Okay. That would be an interesting one too, because then didn't they find her body kind of like posed by some rocks or something?
Yeah, it was up in like a wooded part of Malibu, I remember. But a few different discrepancies there about how her body was found and what exactly it looked like, because police had moved the body, so we don't actually know how it was found. And they said in the process they had accidentally removed the head or it fell off. There were lots of curiosities about that, and eventually, not for nothing, they did settle with the family. So somebody recently said too, they were like, oh, Silas was getting mixed up. He was thinking of Maitrice Richardson, and he said Mara Murray when we were talking about Tiffany Valiente for the premium episode.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I was not. I was thinking of Mara Murray.
Mara. Well, listen, if there's anybody that you know that you're talking about, it's going to be the Mara Murray case.
Well, I was just like, because the whole reference was to like theft, because that was what was happening, was she was stealing, but without real motive. It's so difficult to like talk seriously about true crime when I'm dressed like this. It's causing something in my brain to snap. But yeah, I think any of the cases like that would be interesting to go to the scenes of. Mm-hmm. I also want to go to the Queen Mary, which is in Long Beach next time we come to LA.
Yeah. Let's do it. Cecil to the Queen Mary.
Oh, yeah, there you Creepers, go again. This has been quite a lengthy and quite a unique episode, as you can see. We've had scary stories, we've had costumes, Q&As, and the kickoff to spooky season. Baby, I could not be more excited.
Oh, baby. I'm going to light my little pumpkin candle, watch my hokey pokey.
Mine's been going this whole time.
Has it been? I should have lit mine. But
you see it right there.
I see it. Long legs with this Yankee candle. Let me in there.
That was what I wanted to end this on. Okay, now I gotta. Hold on. Wait, he has to cut off like the top of the face, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Let me get now, it could be nice if I go now. I don't have to come back, not once, not twice, but as many times as I love.
Oh my God.
I need to be shot.
It's unnerving how well you hit the notes. Like, that's what's really unnerving to me.
Not this.
Not that.
Your vocals, it's really upsetting me.
The vocals are really good.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at the camera like...
Like, is that me?
This is what I look like when I used to go on Zoom calls for corporate. I'd be like, good morning, everyone.
No pants on.
Currently. I've got a jacket, a button down, a scarf, a rose pin.
Boxers.
Thong.
Gilly Hicks, baby.
Mm-hmm. Whale tail. Well, with that, Creepers, I think we're going to have to catch you on the next one. This has been quite an incredible episode of CreepTime, the podcast. So I'm very proud of us for this one.
I am too. We committed to the bit, baby.
We did. As we said before at the beginning of the show, please make sure to get your magic mind, but also make sure to go to creeptime.com so you can come see us on tour, because I believe if this is coming out on Friday, either before or after this comes out, the 2 new cities are going to be released. We have Salt Lake City. Woo. We have Albuquerque. So that means it's going to be Los Angeles. This is the...
Let me in
there. We have Los Angeles, Sacramento, Portland, up to Seattle, then to Salt Lake, down to Denver, Phoenix, big house in Phoenix, and capping it all off with Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the historic and very haunted Chemo Theater. So please get your tickets now. Go to creeptime.com. We want to see you there if you are in that city or even remotely close to that city.
Yes.
Make the drive out for a night of true crime and scary stories, babies.
Come on, babies. Come on, come on.
If this doesn't convince you, I don't know what will.
You get this live in the freaking flesh.
Well, for now, we're going to say goodbye.
And good luck, creepers.
We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.